It's by American versus Imports, and it's going to talk about window tinting. And you say, why is that important? It's important because whenever it comes to window tinting, there's percentages that people apply to their vehicles to help them get a certain level amount of protection from the sun, UV rays, and things of that nature. So let's watch this a little bit, okay? Please remember to hit a like and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please hit a subscribe. And here we go.
Comparison driving at night. So you might have seen our last video. You guys made that video huge for us. It's our most popular video to date. Basically comparing the tints side by side without driving. And a lot of you guys said you guys should do this at night because that's what a lot of people are struggling with. How dark do they want to go at night? So we have 4 different cars, one with no tint, one with 35% tint, 25% tint, and 20 tint. And we're going to drive all those at night and show you guys driving impressions with the tint at night. Let's do it. We'll start with no tint. Okay, we are in the Hyundai, which has no window tint on it. And here's how it looks at night. Here's the difference between the window and the windshield. No visibility issues here. And here's the thing that a lot of people with window tint struggle with is taking a left turn. Typically, you have to roll down your window in order to see where the curb is. So here, we're just going to go. And it's very dark here, but I'm able to see perfectly fine out of my left driver's window. All right, guys, here we are on the Mustang, which has 35% window tint. Here's the side view. It's kind of a well-lit area, especially with the stoplight, so I'll try to go over here and get us onto a road that's a little bit darker. Here we go. Here's a car coming up. There's the side view. Like, right out the side, you can barely see anything. And I would have to, here's a little, I'll roll down the window to show you the difference. Yeah, as you can see, it's much darker. And I really don't know how people with 20% or darker drive at night with the windows down. It is pretty dark with 35 only. Now I'm going to be taking a left here and showing you guys the difference. This is, I said, the hardest turn to take with tint on. If you look, you can barely see where I'm going. Take a left here. See, it is pretty difficult to see compared to the windshield where you're going. And we'll do one more comparison. Here's kind of with tint, without tint. All right, guys, here we are on the Lightning, 20% tint at night, doing a little driving comparison as the others. View out of the sides is extremely dark. Let me go. You can barely see anything out of that window. And here's a building right there. You cannot see it at all. There's the building that you can see. And there's the no building, it just disappears. So it's extremely difficult to see at night with the lighting. With 20% and view out of the back, can't see anything. So I would not recommend 20% if you drive a lot at night. I know Dave has 25%, and he says he has no issue. But we'll do it. Now we'll take another left here, and we'll show you the difference between no window and window. Here's the view with window up. And here's the view with window down. See the difference? Pretty much can't see anything without a light. So if you guys plan to drive at night a lot, I would not recommend getting 20%. It does look really good. I think it looks the best of all of them with the tint. But I would not recommend getting 20. And just like that. ABS.
All right. And you say, okay, 12 gauge, what was that all about? Well, think about it a little bit. It gave you the insight of how the window tint looks from inside the vehicle. So now I'm going to show you the vehicle that I'm talking about. Okay. Here is the back of, guess who? If we were on a game show, well, hopefully I'll do better than that on a game show. If we were on a game show, I'd be like, for $500, whose car is this? Then you could be like, I know, Brian Koberger's. But look at the back of his vehicle. We've talked about this a bunch of times before, but I want to tell you, and I wanted to show you the back of his vehicle. So obviously, my eyes are not deceitful. Can you tell me whether this has tint or whether it does not? Come on, chat, let me know. Does it have tint or does it not? And it might have mild tint, but I'm talking about, does it have 20%? 20% was the darkest, okay? So it looks like you can see through it, right? Okay. So let's go to this body shop of another 2015 Hyundai Elantra. Do you see this vehicle without tint? Once again, it's identical. You can see inside the vehicle. You can see the only difference is this one has a nice little pink heart and the other one did not. Brian did not have a nice little pink heart. Okay? So you can see the similar. Okay, this one has tint. This one does not have tint. Brian did not have tint. Look at the window, the side of the window, no tint on this car. And I'm going to show you. Here's another, no tint, no tint. And this is a 2015 Hyundai Elantra. This, my friends, is what you call window tint. Do you see anything on the inside of this vehicle? Let me know. Do you see anything in there with the tint on it? Okay. I don't see anything either. There it is again. You can see in there. This last shot that I showed you, you could not. So let me show you this shot right here. On the side of his vehicle, no tint, no to minimum tint. So you can see, right? No tint. There's the little writing, no tint. And there's a method to my madness here. So hang on, I don't want to go too fast. Give up all my goodies. So let me see if I showed this one. And this one is a side shot with tint. As you can see, you can't see in here. You see that? And I hope that you're getting your own impression on this, that I'm not the one that's telling you what you see and what you don't see. And here's the full tent job right here. Back, side, side. See, even though this has some tint, it's still dark. You can still see a little bit right here, but it's still dark. Okay, so what do y'all think about that? Give me some comments. So I'm not going to play this video, but that was the difference. I don't know if you've seen um, my community post. You've seen, where it was. Okay, this is another shot of Brian's vehicle. As you can tell, we've already defined that it doesn't have tint. So even though it looks darker here due to the lighting, it looks like from a distance. So could you or could you not mistake this vehicle, you know, to having tint or not? Okay. Alrighty. So let me get back to what I want to present to you. Um, let's look at these three vehicles. This vehicle is the vehicle that I'm going to talk about a lot tonight. As you can see, hopefully I can bring this vehicle up. You can't really see in this car. And this car is just another car on the street next to the Exxon down the block that I've used as an example as well. Darker tint. You can see the dashboard here. In the back, you can't really see anything. And even with this vehicle as well, it has some dark tinted windows. This vehicle, of course, you can see through it, so it doesn't have tint. This is this is what they say suspect vehicle number one was. But the more that I've looked into this, I don't believe at all this is suspect vehicle number one or two. Because I've come to my own conclusion over the last couple days that this car is not an Elantra. And you can fight me if you want. I'll fight you. I'll fight you. Meet me out. Meet me outside. Meet me outside. So you can see the darkness, right? I hope you can. This car down here, you can see through it. This car right here, you can see a little bit of the definition, but still it's too dark to really gather any kind of insight. Okay, I'm going to show you guys something that I took very early on from screenshots on suspect vehicle number one. This is a shot, and I took this just for comical view because I know I don't see anything and I'm not even going down that line. But I want to tell you how suggestive things are, okay? Let me tell you something. This is a gnome. You see the little nose? You see the beard? You see the pointed hat? You see how suggestion works? I can tell you what I see right there. How many of you see what I just saw? See that little gnome in the back seat? How many of y'all see that? Put a one in the chat if you see the gnome. Y'all see the gnome? Anybody? Put a number one if you see the gnome. It looks like a garden gnome. See, here's the little hat. Here's the nose. Here's the beard. And this is in the back seat of supposedly the vehicle that's cruising by the Exxon. So do you really believe that whenever you mess with the color and you mess with the definition and you mess with everything, the best thing you can get out of this whole thing is a gnome? I hope y'all see the gnome. I'm I'm just doing this out of humor. I'm not doing this to make fun of anybody. Okay? So I want to go on to the next slide. Okay, here's the picture that it came from. That other one was kind of a zoomed in thing. So if you mess with the lighting, you enhance the color of the vehicle, you can still see the gnome. So on the night of the crime, the freaking gnome was around the cruising around in the back of the vehicle. That would be a trip if it really turned out to be a gnome, wouldn't it? Yeah, exactly, Jeremiah. I mean, I'm not saying it is or isn't, but I'm finding some comedic value in this because Jeff H and myself were I was sending Jeff these images and we were laughing about it because this is how suggestion works. And I'm about to show you the biggest one of them all. Okay, you see the gnome in the back, right? Do you see anything in the front seat? Does anything stick out to you? Anything at all? Okay. Now, if nothing sticks out to you, if nothing sticks out to you, bam! This is what somebody got out of the front seat image. They're able to see glasses, a chin and a beard, a reverse baseball hat, the cap emblem, and a reflection noise, whatever that is. So this is a Pittsburgh Pirates baseball cap turned backwards. The guy's wearing glasses. He has a bearded chin. And this is one of the dudes that's driving. So let me take you back to this one. This is supposedly where this image is. This was early on stuff, okay? So don't get all don't get all funny with me and thinking that I've I've fallen off my rocker and joined this conspiracy type of group because I haven't. I just wanted to show you how easy suggestion is and how easy it is to train the eyeball to see what it is that you want somebody to see. Because here I could tell you, look, this is a P, and then outline it. You see the P now, right? A reverse baseball cap goes like this, and then it goes down here. Here are the glasses right here, and here's the chin, and here's the beard, and there's the shoulder, and there we have that is somebody's outline in the vehicle. supposedly right here after they deep dug and this and that and the other. Okay, so I don't follow that type of stuff. Okay, so now we're getting to the most important stuff right here. I showed you this car about 4 or 5 times in other videos. Jeff and I have talked about it. We we dissected it. We've talked about the Exxon station, how the camera is pointed, the little wall barrier, the road. Now, this vehicle right here, looking at it from afar, and I want you, people have told me, well, there's no light shining on it. Yeah, there is. Yeah, there is. Even though it's a grainy picture, even though it's far away, there's still light. There's still light sources. So if you could see into this area and right here, right in the chat, I appreciate that, Jeremiah. I appreciate it. Right in the chat, whether you see tint or whether you don't. Y'all tell me. So, do y'all see tint or do you not on this vehicle? It's hard to tell, but I'm gonna prove to you with the boots on the ground type stuff my point. All right, here in a minute. I just don't want to get through this too quick and have like a 30-minute live. Okay, hard to tell because it's right, but maybe a tent. It's hard to tell. You're right. It's very hard to tell to decipher. Okay, so we can't really tell on that one. So I did a little bit playing with the lighting. Still hard to tell, but I mean I know you probably can't see it, but I can see a little bit of the ridge of the dash right there. But I know you can't see it because I'm looking at the screen, so it's hard to tell for you guys because it's not clear. I get it. And here's another shot. It's harder on this one. And Jeff sent me this, so I'm going to give Jeff credit because I forgot to X out his name there. So great job, Jeff. Thank you. So once again, that one kind of tells you a little more as far as the tent's concerned. Okay. So let me back out of here. You've seen that one, all right? And then we've seen this one. We've seen the side shot. And many people early on have discussed whose vehicle is this? Y'all tell me in the chat. Do y'all remember whose vehicle this was? Write out the initials in the chat if you remember. Somebody supposedly standing on this roof and everybody is partying down here, and this vehicle is supposedly seen at this residence. Many people thought that this person's vehicle was this vehicle. This car obviously has tinted windows, correct? Dark ones at that. You can't see in there, and you can't see in there, and it's very hard to see in there. Do y'all know whose car that is? Christy wins $500. Jack D. Jack D. Okay, so that is Jack D's vehicle. So you tell me, on looking at it sideways, I can see why they would say this is a vehicle because look at the L shape right here at the back of the window, right here. But look how shallow this curve is. And you can tell me 12 gauge that just the the way the camera caught it, and there's no way that, this and that and the other. Well, you know what? You can't extend I think they call this a quarter panel. You can't extend a quarter panel to look any other way than what it looks. Look at this one. This one, if you saw it from the side like this, would still be elongated. And you can't see a lot more of this vehicle, but the front of it is not as long. I looked at this picture probably for about 2 hours. Yes, 500 Monopoly dollars. Okay. So I looked at this picture right here for about 2 hours the other night. And I was thinking to myself, I could see this vehicle right here. I could see this. But when it gets to right here, where her phone is, it looks like somebody copy and pasted another vehicle to make the front of it longer. I was thinking, 12 gauge, you're going crazy with this, man. You need to chill. You need to chill with all this madness. How could somebody have wanted to do that? Y'all tell me, do you think it was photoshopped? Chat, I want you to interject with me here. You think it was photoshopped? The top one was photoshopped? Could you notice how darker the front of the vehicle is than the back? I'm not saying it was. I'm not saying it isn't. But I sat there and looked at it. Yes, it was a blurry picture taken from a cell phone. But if you look at it on your computer screen and you blow it up and you're able to really look at it thoroughly, it looks photoshopped. And it's hard to not see the difference in tint of the whiteness and something about these lights, man. And then I thought to myself, well, I've seen a car like that before in my lifetime. I've seen a car like this because I thought that was the ugliest freaking car I've ever seen. So I got to searching. Okay, I got to searching, man. I was like, I'm on this. I cannot look at this vehicle without searching. So I thought, well, could it be the Kia Forte? See, it kind of has that L shaped window. It kind of has the shallow turn right here. But the door panels are different. See, this one, the one that I just showed you. No, I'm not saying that the gas station attendant photoshopped it. I'm saying after it was released, somebody could have somebody could have messed with that shot. It's like this vehicle right here. If I wanted to add a couple of inches to the front, all I'd have to do is just copy, cut, and then add another vehicle that kind of resembled the same kind of panel and added some distance to it. I'm just showing some vehicles. Y'all let me know what you think. And then I thought it kind of looks like this car. And this is a Kia also. Has the L. See how the shortness of the back is? Where the tire's a lot closer to the back. I wish I could do it side by side on here, but I can't. And how it looks elongated right here. And then the front kind of looks. Let me show you the other car. That way you don't get fixated on what I'm showing you. You see how shallow this is? There's the thing, and here's the elongated door panel, and then the front with the lights. No kind of cuts in here, even though it's blurry, and then it has the front. Now let me show you the other one that I just showed you. Long door side, even though this lights, short quarter panel, I guess. and how it kind of goes in that direction. See, because this part kind of slopes down, the hatch part, the Elantra doesn't do that. And here's another photo of a car just the same. See, it kind of slopes down to a very substantial cut, short door panel back. This is a 4-door. So I think this one, the one that I was showing you, don't get it twisted. Don't get all upset. And, like 12 gauge is trying to force feed us with something. You're all entitled to what you want to see. I just wanted to show you those vehicles. But I want to show you something else. Let me show you the Elantra again. Do you see how this is the Elantra? Your individuals are fixated on the Elantra, and I can see why. I'm not fixated on it, but look, this is a 4-door. Brian's was a 4-door. Okay? Hang with me there. This car right here is not a 4-door. Because that would be right there. If it is a 4-door, it would be sliced right about right there. But look how it's curved in the wheel area, and it'd probably open up right about here. And you'd cut it right there. Let's use this one as an example. This is Jack D's car. This is, it looks like, you can't really tell, but I would be willing to say this is a 4-door. But just cut different. So you're saying 12 gauge? You're trying to tell us that Brian is innocent or Brian is guilty? Well, guess what? 12 gauge is not saying any of that. I want you to make up your own mind. Let me show you these videos. All right, just doping around. Just trying not to get. Hold on a second. The sound of my own voice just annoys me sometimes. It really does. I don't know why, but it does. Where did the downloads go? Y'all hang with me, okay? I'm getting some. Darker tint. You can't see it all into the back seat. Same thing with that white Elantra right there. So there you go. Okay, that's daytime. So let me show you the night vision. I want y'all to pay attention. Okay? Let me know what y'all think about this. I know it's hard. All right, just scoping around, just trying not to get license plates. As you can tell, you can see more out the front than you can the back. And there's some cars going by. Same thing. Let me zoom in a little bit. So you can see the silhouette, especially as it's driving off. See? Corner of it. There's another truck. You see into the vehicle as it's passing. There's another vehicle right here. A darker tint. But you can still see as it passes the light certain things. But even right there in the dark, you can see right there. So even if it's tinted, you can still see the differences. See that truck over there? You can see the other side. There's a white car right there. Let me run up on this white car and see exactly what kind of white car this is. Granted, the car's not lit up with the brake lights, but let me stop right there. If you're looking in that vehicle, you can't really see that white van right there. So that tint is dark. Toward the driver's side door, you can see a little bit in there. So just some examples here. See, there's that white van. You can see the silhouette. You can even see the back. Even right there while it's stopped, you can see in it. I know this is an Elantra, I don't think. Looks like a Kia. See, you can see inside that one. Inside that one. And there's the best sign of them all. All right, hope you enjoyed. Okay, guys. I know it's difficult to see probably on your phones. Um, I'm lucky to see this on a computer, so I know it's probably difficult, but you get the point. You get the point of what I'm trying to deliver here, and the point I hope you see. And you don't have to agree with me, okay? I'm not trying to start an argument or say that I'm smarter than the average Joe because, God knows I'm not at times. So think about this. That vehicle that we saw, that they showed us in front of the Exxon, to me, in my opinion, it looked like it had tinted windows. You could not see in it either direction. As I showed you, many examples of vehicles passing with, as Jeremiah said, ambient light being present or passing through the vehicle. Um, it it gives you a different perspective. I wish there was a video rather than still shots. That probably would make the Exxon car a lot easier to decipher. But what I can tell you is, in my whole heart of hearts, I don't believe that was an Elantra. And that might piss people off, and it might start a whole revolution of people, unsubscribing from me. But I don't believe that's an Elantra. I believe it's some different type of vehicle. And I even had some others. I believe it's a Honda Civic, a 1999 Honda Civic. And if you Google that vehicle and you put white, you will see that it has a longer front, shorter back. And when you look at the back side of it, you'll see the quarter panels that are a lot shorter. It's not going to be a popular opinion. There's going to be individuals that can't see what I see, and that's fine. But I've done a lot of research on this today, and and I even thought it might be a Prius. I took a picture of a Prius, and I thought it might be a Prius. Let me see if I can pull this Prius picture up, and I can even show you because I've been exposed to a lot of these vehicles lately, and it's really tripping me out. Everywhere I turn, I'm seeing a white vehicle, and it has a lot of different variations. It has it. Let me see. I even took a side by side here, but after looking at this, it's not a Prius. Not a Prius. It looks like it could be, but it's not, in my opinion. I've lost it. Come on, guys. Come on. You really think I've lost it that bad? It has been a long week and I'm on call, so I could have lost it. Who knows? So here's the Prius. Here's the Prius, guys. As I was telling you earlier, this does have a shorter quarter panel. You see that? And as we were discussing earlier, how the window does the L shaped here and how the door kind of contours, elongates. And this one had a short front though. And this is a four door, has those small ass wheels like those others. But if I was at that car at the stop sign heading on to White Avenue, what I'm fixated on is this area right here because that's what I really could see was lit up with the tail lights were lit up and you could see the license plate part. But this looked a lot littler in that photo. Yeah, I may have lost my mind. I don't know. At least I'm not seeing distorted images at this point. And here's the side by side of what I was just talking about. And there I am researching it. So like what I was telling you, um, see how the license plate would be in this area and the decal would be right there. And here's the decal. Right underneath it is the license plate. But these lights are up and down. They're not elongated. They're not side by side. So that's how I can kind of decipher. But you see this quarter panel right here, how it kind of cuts down? The same thing as this one. The low profile, the low profile, the elongated door side. And the top of the vehicle is almost the same as this one with the window. But you really can't see a lot here because it's, all this distortion. I thought it made for a good discussion, and I hope that it did. I hope that y'all enjoyed that. Um, I'm trying to just look outside the box and not be one dimensional because, when it comes to understanding a lot of the evidence in this case, this could have just been something that was thrown out there to get people to just focus on this vehicle. Jeremiah, I'm enjoying you tonight, buddy. I'm glad you're here as well as the rest of you. I mean, I'm so happy that you're here, you know? So when you start to see things that people are telling you, this is definitely this is definitely that. And you're telling me that's the best you could do with all the technology we have, is that the best blurry picture you could get me? You ever wonder, like, I know I'm getting off topic here. I'll get back on, but I'm waiting for Jeff to get up here. You ever wonder when people shoplift at Walmart or, something like that, and they show you this is the person that we caught shoplifting. You ever notice how blurry and um the pixelated those videos are? But you go to an ATM and those pictures are clear. What's up with Walmart? Why can't they get their shit together and get better cameras? You ever wonder that? Or when the police are telling you, hey, we're looking for this type of vehicle or we're looking for this guy, but they show you a picture and you can't tell what the hell it is. You can't tell what it is. I want y'all to remember that gnome in the back seat. I think it was Travelocity that had the gnome, right? And I hope they don't, strike me for that. But they had the gnome. So the Travelocity gnome was in the back seat of the Hyundai Genesis, as we've come to find out. I'm gonna have to look into that because I believe you. I believe you, Ginger. Um, everything is good to see. Yeah, you are talking about the roaming gnome. Yes. Did you see the timeline? Yep. What do y'all think? Let me ask you this, because I've never asked the chat this. In the PCA where it said the portion where Brian left Pullman, and supposedly he turned his phone off. Do y'all believe he turned his phone off, or do you believe that his phone died, or do you believe he had a burner phone? What do y'all believe? What is y'all's thoughts on that? Give me some feedback on that. What do y'all think? You think do you think that he turned his phone off? Do you think he even had his phone with him? Do you think they're going to find out that he had his phone with him or didn't? So think about that a little bit. I want you to think about that. Those are the things that should be of importance because those are the things that's going to tie the man to the crime or not tie him to the crime. And all that driving around, when did he fill up? As much as they've been surveying this guy, when did he fill up? Do they got that receipt? Do you think he would have needed to put some gas in that Elantra, or how much? Does anybody in chat know how much an Elantra gets on the highway and in the city? Let's welcome Mr. Jeff H. Everybody, put your hands together.
Hey, 12 Gates, how you doing?
Hey, Jeff, I can barely hear you,
Hey.
brother.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
A little louder.
Am I coming through? Really? That should be check 1 2. Check 1 2.
Hold on, I think it's my end. Say something.
Check 1 2. Check 1 2. See,
Okay.
checking my settings, make sure I'm right.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
When you said
So
everybody put your hands together. Remember in that movie Monsters Inc., where I think there was a applause. It's like, when you get that sound where it's like one person applauding, and then maybe somebody in the background like coughs, like.
yeah, exactly. Hey Jeremiah, I'm still waiting for Jeff to play a concert on my channel, man. I think that'll get some viewers, bro.
Oh yeah, I need to do that. That would
Get your
be.
motor running.
Oh, that's right. You did. Yeah, you recognize that song. Uh,
Yeah.
that's
So
that's a good thing you just said that I'd never thought of or heard about. Like, when's he filling up for gas?
yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I hadn't thought of.
I mean,
That makes you
because
think he must have stopped for gas at some point, unless he's like Jodi Arias, where she had like those 3 gas cans, so she didn't have to stop near any gas stations or any near gas station cameras.
they still say, can you adjust your volume, please? So I guess you need to be a little louder.
Yeah, let me check, see what's going on. Let me crank this up. Check
While
1
he's
2.
doing,
Check 1 2. Okay, that's
okay,
peaking in the
that's good
red
on
now.
my end.
Is
That's
that better
good.
now?
Yeah.
Okay.
But think about that, Jeff. I mean, we all drive vehicles. At what point, all that damn driving around they got this individual doing, when the hell did he get gas, especially at that time of night? Because you know damn well that most people are either OCD about their gas gauge. You know, some people only let their car get to half a tank and then they fill up, and some people let it get to beneath a quarter and then they put $3 in it. You know?
Right. Right. Now maybe he's got the Fred Flintstone model where it's got the hole in the floor and his feet are doing the propelling the car. So
No,
he doesn't have
because
to stop.
according to that photo across from the Exxon, there was no feet poking out the bottom, just jack stands.
That's right. You get good gas mileage on jack stands. You'd be
Yeah,
surprised.
that car was standing still.
Yeah, I think it was like a hovercraft. That's why it didn't need wheels, because it just hovers.
I was in
It's
a
like the
chat
newer
last
version of
night.
the DeLorean.
Hey, I was in a chat last night. Were you in another channel going at it with the same person?
Which one?
Um, the jack stand guy.
Oh,
Were y'all having a conversation about something last night?
I'm trying to remember. Are you talking about the guy that was also the name of a caramel
A
candy I
candy?
used to eat as
Yeah,
a kid?
yeah,
Okay, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Might have, I just can't remember what we were talking about. I enjoy. Oh, Jeremiah. Jeremiah gets what was the prize? $500 of Monopoly money.
Yeah, Monopoly money. I'll have to cash app y'all some Monopoly money.
Yeah, I like
No, but
Rolo. I mean, I don't think there have been very few times where I've agreed with him. Maybe I agree with the spelling of his name. We probably agree on that, but that might be doesn't go too much further than that. But I told him, I said, man, the moment I agree with something on you, you'll be the first to know. Now I'm craving a Rolo.
I mean the jack stand. To me, that's a little too much, man. That's a little too much. I
Yeah,
can't stand behind that.
yeah. I think two things that come to mind when we have when we get to see the actual gas station video, not just a still frame from the video off of a computer monitor taken by a cell phone. Then I think we're definitely going to know more. That car in motion and from different camera angles, because there's, I think, the camera on the front of the gas station, there's a camera on the back by the car wash. I think there's even more camera angles than just 2. I think
Yeah, I
then we'll
wish
know something.
I wish she would have taken a video. You know, maybe she did. Maybe she has the video. She just screenshotted those pieces that I showed a while ago that you gave me. You know what I mean?
Could be, yeah. I mean, yeah, that could be a still that she sent from a video, possible. But my
Yeah.
gut tells me it's just it was, maybe either like she wasn't allowed to be doing that. That wasn't kind of like she could get in trouble for it. So she's trying to do it quick, just snap a
Right.
photo, or maybe the excitement, like, oh my gosh, this could be it. And then just snapped a photo, sent it to the police, and they, you know, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how soon after they showed up at that food mart
I
at the
mean,
gas
could think
station.
of how intimidating, Jeff, it would be to be sitting on that kind of evidence, and then all of a sudden you're about to hand in what could or couldn't be the most valuable evidence at this point.
Right. Right.
That's intimidating. And what if she's young? What if she's a young manager or something like that? And like you said, really shouldn't have been doing that. And, she should have been sweeping or, cleaning the parking lot or whatever. And she was on the security camera where she had no clearance to be doing such. I mean, people have their different reasons why certain things happen the way they do.
And there's also too, I mean, not that she would go so far as have any like shock phase, but if this is the person, I mean, look how close this person came to that gas station where she works. I mean, that's got to freak you out a little bit. I mean, I'm sure people in the area that aren't even that close to, are concerned. Um, you know,
Well, Susan, I believe that, eventually the police would have made their way there to that gas station. But the sad part is that footage might have been already erased. And that's the thing that we have to remember in this case also. The police took forever to get the footage of some areas. So their inability to get that footage quickly could have erased a lot of valuable evidence.
now I think the
And
news report did say that they went to that gas station and they did retrieve like hours of footage. So I think that doesn't necessarily mean they got the same stuff that she took the picture of, but I have a feeling if she was able to take the picture of it, you can see a picture of the play and the fast forward buttons for the video. She probably knows enough about the video to make sure that this particular spot on the video didn't get erased. Um,
right, right. I
or if she,
mean,
even if she didn't know how to use the system, I'm sure she took a picture of it and said, "Get over here right now. I don't know how soon this is going to get erased. It's here right now. I can see it. I'm looking right at it, but you better get here quick
right,
because I don't."
right. been incarcerated how long now? He's been incarcerated for a while because he's been indicted for it. So unfortunately, at this point, whether he is the one or he's not the one, he's in a fight for his life. He has to prove that he's not the one to get free. Because until he does that, they're going to keep him locked up, and that's the sad part of it. And that could happen to any of us. Imagine not committing a crime, but there's enough evidence to indict you and arrest you and put you in jail, and you got to wait until your trial to prove your innocence. Tell me your thoughts on this, chat. You remember you saw this vehicle, right? I'm not trying to say it's an Elantra. I'm not trying to say it's this, that, or the other. But do you remember that it picked up an individual by that dumpster? Do you remember that, Jeff?
Yeah. I think I have a video of that. The guy that looked in the dumpster with a flashlight.
Yes.
That one. Yeah, that's
Yes.
on my channel.
Oh, you
Video.
have the whole video?
Yeah, of him walking up, looking
Yeah,
in the trash can.
and then he gets picked up.
The pickup part. No, that's right. That is a different
Okay.
clip that I have seen. Yeah, I haven't seen it for a long time, but
Okay, so if y'all remember this car, it supposedly picked up an individual. This is the car right here. It
but
picked up an individual.
we did do. I think we were able to identify that car by some markings on it. That's a
Yeah.
BMW X5, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Y'all see the mountain lion up here in the bushes?
yeah. It's a cougar, I think, right? Cougar.
It's a cougar. Yeah, the
Yeah, that's
cougar.
what it is. A
Do
cougar.
y'all remember the cougar? Yeah, there's a video out, Susan, where right there where it makes that turn, it has already picked somebody up by the dumpster. It's the same individual, it looks like, that was by the dumpster looking around and walked up to the Queen Road apartments. And then the cougar jumped into the dumpster and found the K bar and ran off with it. That's what happened.
Yeah,
Pissed on the
cougar.
hydrant on the way out.
The cougar ran away with the spoon.
Little red
That's
Corvette.
that's an old kid's rhyme. The dish ran away with the spoon. I don't know why. Just for a moment, I thought is that because sometimes things that seem so harmless are actually like poems about drug use or something. And I
Yeah,
don't know. I have
yeah.
to look into that a little more.
Smoking crack out of a spoon, right?
Yeah. What's the
Or heroin, one or the other. Yeah.
in the dish? Back in like the 50s, didn't they refer to like a sexy woman as a dish?
Yeah. Well,
I guess
looking at this picture, I'm kind of. I
I'm gonna
also
search and see if I can
heard
find that
very
clip.
early on that this house was suspicious. This is the house that's right there on the corner. There's usually a beat up old red car right here. It looks like a Nissan Sentra or something like that. It's an old beat up car. But they said that this house was supposedly a drug house also. So wouldn't that make sense if they were dumping drugs off here and the dude was picking them up to go drop off his nightly DoorDash orders, you know? Did I lose you on that one, Jeff?
No, you know what? I was trying to find that clip of the BMW in motion.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not making stuff up. I know I'm laughing right now, Jeremiah, but honestly, very early on, they were saying that this house was very malicious with drug activity that happened here. And there used to be there in the Google map, there's a red beat up car here. And they said, I mean, this is where my mind was going. I thought this was the house where the red Mustang was. I was getting all excited, Google mapping it. And it was just an old beat up Nissan Sentra looking car with dilapidated insides and this and that and the other.
Wait, I'm gonna look and see. You said you could see the dilapidated car on
on
Google.
Google Maps. Yeah. Did you pull it up?
Let's see.
Put 500 Queen Road, and it'll come
Oh
up.
yeah, it's like a. You might be right. Let me see. Let me see. You want to see it?
Yeah, go ahead and pull it up
Let's
to
see.
share. So this car was leaked around the same time the Linda Lane footage was leaked. This was leaked probably a couple weeks after, if that, maybe a week, with the cougar running behind the bushes. And there's men chasing the cougar. Kind of like Cocaine Bear, the cougar
Maybe
sniffed up all the coke.
they'd be cougar catchers.
You see that? There's
Is
that
that the
dilapidated.
is that the red car you're talking about?
Yeah, that's exactly it. And there is a camera, Susan, at the 1320 Linda Lane camera. So it would have seen down that road
Yeah, yeah. That camera comes from. I think
right
it's
there.
like
Yeah.
yeah, right there. I think I saw in one of the old emails I had from the landlord at 13 of these the
It might have been
cameras.
a two-legged cougar, Paula.
Could have been in a trench coat. I think he had mentioned that he had 4 cameras out there, but I don't know if that means that maybe not all of them were working. But there's one here on 1320. There's up the one up here. There was actually the one. There's 2 that are mounted. One is this one, I think, right here is looking down this way towards like this bush, in the direction of this bush, and then this one, the little tiny one, is shooting across.
Oh, there's 2 right there.
Yeah,
So the
I can
one,
find a
so the
picture
one
of
that you
that.
showed, was the one looking at the bush.
Um,
Hey, can you zoom in where those black boxes are, Jeff? I want to tell the chat. I don't know if y'all remember this one.
th-
That's an
what,
entrance
this
to a
stuff?
tunnel. You see those
Oh,
black
this,
boxes? That's an
yeah.
entrance to a tunnel. You move those rocks, tap on one of them 3 times, and the ground moves and opens up and lets you in underneath the bush.
Could be, could be. I think I was noticing something too. Remember, I think I told you, Kane, the landlord at the 1330, told me he hung up the no parking sign, and those 4 teenagers that get out of the car, dropped off at like 12:27, and that
Yeah,
first one takes the no parking sign, he slams it against the wall a bunch of times because
yeah, I
his friend
remember
got
that.
towed, I think. Well, Kane told me he was the one who hung that no parking sign. I think this, if we should compare, but I think this is the exact same kind of sign that and I'm sure he's probably the one who hung
Yeah,
it there too.
yeah, looks like the same one.
But you can see it's not like, you got the ones that are done by the city, or like on a pole, they're pretty solid. It would not surprise me. I forgot to ask him if he only hung it by the top left and right corner, because that would explain how you could grab the bottom and slam it the way he did.
Susan, that is the entrance of Linda Lane apartment that he's looking at right there. And if he turns all the way around, you'll go down Linda Lane to Taylor. So
Yeah, if you just spin around here.
if you spin around, you'll go all the way down to Taylor.
And there's video clips. I've got one of the car going past this way. The quality isn't great, but I think early on in one of the newspaper the articles I saw online, I was always under the impression early on that they determined it was an Elantra from the view of it driving down Taylor.
Right. I remember
But having
that.
seen that video clip, I don't know that you could tell what kind of car that is. It's so small.
You know, I appreciate Google Maps for their clarity on their cameras, because you can
Yeah.
literally go down that street and you can zoom in on everybody's house and see if they have a camera or not. I mean, yeah, it's on the other side of 1122. So they won't let you go to 1122 on the map anymore. So this is as close as you can get, and you can go down Taylor and King Road, and that's about it.
Let me hear. You want to see the 1320 camera from that angle? I think I just found it.
Yeah, let's see it.
All right.
Because that Elantra that Jeff is referring to was supposedly passing that area it would have been heading east. And as soon as that Elantra passed by, that BMW came up the road. I don't know if y'all have seen that, but that video was put out at the very beginning when Linda Lane was leaked. That video was leaked, so you could see what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So you see you got the timestamp. That was one of the can you see the timestamp?
Yes.
Shrink it down.
Yes, you can.
Okay. Although the timestamp might be being blocked by your blue banner at the bottom with the scroll, I think.
That's an awesome camera, Jeremiah. I wonder how much that camera's worth. The Google camera? You think that's a couple $100,000? That thing is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, shooting from all those different angles. I'm just wondering, can you pull the if you could pull that blue bar off at the bottom of your screen that's with the scroll that says can't.
Yeah, let me hide it.
There you go.
Just
because if anybody referring back to this video later, because that was one of the things that was frustrating when this video was first released. The top and bottom of the video was cropped off and you couldn't see the time. So then everybody, even myself, I was like, I don't know if I can trust this. It's not showing a timestamp. And you'll notice too, like on the Linda Lane footage that we've seen so many times, it says, it's named LL. I think it's like LL1 or something, or 2.
Right.
So you can see that.
Let me ask you a question really quick, Jeff. Do you have any knowledge whether that camera has motion light next to it? Why is it so lit up like that? Like, does that light come on and the camera come on at the same time? Because look at all the headlights. They look like cat eyes, like you've caught cat.
Right. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think the camera, I'm gonna assume that the camera does emit some sort of light forward, and then it's in infrared mode, and then anything that's super reflective, like look at the the license plate on this car, all these
Now I see why they
all these
get a
lights.
cougar. I see the cougar.
There you go. It's a mouse cougar. Look, he's running down the road. He just jumped into the trash dumpster. I can see through the dumpster. I have
It's
X-ray
a
vision. He's inside
Thundercat. It's a Thundercat, bro.
But so let's look at this. I haven't really studied this shot that much, only because it's so small. I think at one point I did try and sync it up and synchronize the clock with the Linda Lane footage, just to kind of get a sense of like, okay, if I see a car on Taylor, how long before I saw it come into the view on Linda Lane, the camera.
But one thing that I want people to notice as well, look at on that curb, there's snow accumulation, and that's 3:22 in the morning. There's snow accumulation, and that's 3:22 in the morning. You see that white substance? That is not cocaine. Okay, that is not meth. That is snow.